How does your attachment style shape the way you love, chase, avoid, or stay stuck? Hey, how are you? I'm Alex, and this is Fine, A Millennial Diary. Before we get into the vulnerable stuff, do the thing, follow the podcast wherever you're listening, and if you want to be a part of the extended fam, head over to alexiscardoza.com for links to the YouTube channel, social pages, and much more. All right, today's episode, it's personal. It's confronting, and it's also weirdly comforting. We're talking about attachment styles, the internal GPS system that guides the way we connect, disconnect, cling, run, and sometimes confuse anxiety for love. Whether you're anxiously attached, avoidant, secure, or somewhere in the chaotic middle, we're going there. Let's break it down real quick. Attachment theory basically says that the way we bonded with our primary caregiver shapes the way we show up in adult relationships. It's not a personality test, it's a relational blueprint. So, if you love in your early life felt, inconsistent, you might have grown up to be anxious, always worried. Someone's maybe going to leave you. If love felt intrusive or overwhelming, you might have learned to be avoidant, pulling away the second things get too real. If love felt safe, predictable, and supportive, well, congrats. You might be one of the securely attached unicorns. Let's be real. Millennials? We've got some complicated attachment patterns. We were raised in a blend of latchkey independence and emotional silence. A lot of us learned not to rock the boat, or we had to grow up too fast and become the caretakers in our own homes. So now, what do? We text back instantly and spiral if someone doesn't. Overfunction in relationships, push people before they can get too close, and stay way too long hoping someone will change. We want connection, but we're terrified of the vulnerability it takes to truly receive it. Here's where we compare, so get ready. Gen Z, they've got the vocabulary. They're out here talking about attachment theory on TikTok, throwing around terms like anxious avoidant trap and nervous system compatibility. Now, they're not always applying it perfectly, but they are aware. They're watching YouTube videos about attachment while we were still fighting out. They're not always applying it perfectly, but they're aware. They're watching YouTube videos about attachment while we're still trying to figure out how to not ghost people. We had to discover this language through trial and error, through heartbreak, through therapy. They're starting with it, and that's a massive shift. Attachment styles are very powerful, but they're not a personality prison. Just because you're anxious doesn't mean you're doomed to panic text forever. So just because you're avoidant doesn't mean you'll always run. And these are some of the starting points, not life sentences for you. The key is recognizing your pattern, though, getting curious about where it came from and learning to respond, not just react. That's where growth happens. That's where love evolves. Healing your attachment style doesn't mean becoming a perfectly secure person overnight, by the way. I'll tell you what it means. It means being honest about your needs, learning how to sit in discomfort without self-sabotaging, choosing patterns who feel safe, not familiar. Now, showing up even when you want to run. Now, it's hard, it's messy, but guess what? It is possible. And the relationships that come after that kind of work, they're different. They're deeper. They're rooted in choice and not fear. So let's answer the question. How does your attachment style shape the way you love, chase, avoid, or stay stuck? It builds your default setting, plain and simple. But it doesn't have to define your future. Let's think about that. Next up, parenting ourselves while loving others. Because healing isn't just about who we love, it's about who we become in the process. I remind you to please hit up alexiscardoza.com to follow, subscribe, share, and keep growing this community. I'm gonna leave with these words. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to be loved. And this is fine.
Goodbye.